Okay, so today's lesson is going to just be a review of Chapter 5, first lesson and second lesson. You're going to do the front, so this is the page you're going to do, of 5-1 more, and then you're going to do the front of 5-2 more. As an example and notes, we're going to do a few on the back side of each. Does that make sense? All right. So go to the back of 5-1 more. We're going to use this as notes. I'm not going to go do the whole page, just like one in each section. All right, so when we're talking about linear equations, what does it mean to be linear? A straight line. And what is the linear equation form that we've been focusing on? Y equals mx plus b. Where the m is the, and the b is the y-intercept. All right, so we're going to go through each section and do an example of each. That way you'll know and remember how to do the front. Yes? All right, look at the first questions. Write an equation of the line with the given slope and y-intercept. They're literally giving it to you. You just have to put the slope here and the y-intercept here. So number 1, the slope is 1/4. The y-intercept is 3. So how would I write that? Y equals 1/4 x plus 3. That's it. So let's do this one. How would I write this? 1.5x either -1, or you could do plus -1. All right, number 5, 6, and 7. There are 2 ways to do this, yes or no? They want you to write in, and anytime I need an equation, I need an m and a b. I need an m and I need a b. I can either go find the m and the b, or I can use what? Stat. I can use stat. Now, to be really honest with you on these, I think stat takes longer than doing it. So if you're good at slope and y-intercept, it's probably faster just to do it right. Here's the y-intercept, yes? That's 2. The slope is literally a rise of 2 and a run of 5. Not -5, because I'm going up to right 5. Is that slope positive or negative? So y equals 2/5 x plus 2. Now, if you say, you know what, I'm going to mess that up somehow, then use your stat button. Yes? So if I go to stat, is it going to give me 2/5? It's going to give me 0.4. All right, so I go to stat, edit. Now, I don't care. I'm letting you use stat today if you want to use stat. Okay? Because on the EOC, what do you get to use? You get to use stat. Now, be careful with stat, though, because I have a lot of students putting them in incorrectly. The x's have to be L1. So if you need to make a table and say, hey, my x is 0, my y is 2, my x is -5, my y is 0, then go put it in. 0, enter, -5, enter, 2, enter, 0, enter. Stat calc. Did I get the same answer? Yes. Are we okay? All right, do you see how if you're good at rise over run, it's probably just going to be faster to do rise over run? Where do most people mess up in rise over run? No, the major mistake is forgetting to put if it's negative. Because they go count the rise and the run, but they don't look if the line's going up or down. Okay, so just be careful. All right, the next section says graph each equation. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. What is the easiest way to graph an equation? What button does a graphs for us? Y equals. You can literally go to y equals, put in the equation, and then go to a table, and it's going to give you coordinates. Yes? Or you can do slope and y-intercept, right? So I'm going to do number 8 with you. What's my starting point? What's the first dot I should put?
2.
So I go to the y-axis and put a dot at 2. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then I'm going to rise 1 and run 2. But it's negative, so you have to assign one of those a negative. So if you want to go down 1, then put the negative with the 1. And then the 2, I would go right. So I would go down and right. So down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. You need at least 3 dots. Then you would get a straight edge and you would connect. Could you have put this in your calculator instead? Yes, so you could have gone to y equals, typed in negative 1/2 x plus 2, hit second graph, which is a table, and literally just graph some points. Here's a point at 0, 2. Is that what I put? Here's a point at 2, 1. I would just leave the fractions alone. I wouldn't graph them. Okay, so there's a point at 2, 1. Isn't that what I put? And the next one that I see is 4, 0, and that's what I graphed. Okay, so you can always use your y equals button if the equation is in y equals form. All right, go to the next one. Is this in y equals form? So what do I have to do? I've got to get rid of this 3. How do I get rid of a 3 if it's being multiplied by the y? Divide everything by 3. So I have y equals 2/3 x. What's 6 divided by 3?
2.
And since there's one negative sign, it's going to be minus 2. Again, you can go to your y equals button and put this in, or you could say, hey, my starting point is at negative 2 on the y-axis. Since my slope is positive, I'm going to go up and right, yes? So up 2, right 3. Or down 2, left 3. And again, you must connect your dots, or it's not a linear situation. It's just dots. Do you have any questions on that part? All right, go to this part. Write a linear equation in slope-intercept form. Look at number 11. A computer technician charges $75 for a consultation plus $35 per hour. Did you see a clue word? That means the 35 is the rate. So y equals 35x plus 75. The 35 has to get the x because it is the rate. Any questions there? Yes or no? Okay, go to 5-2 more and go to the back side. We're going to use it as notes. Now this one, the calculator will not do everything because you have to solve for the y-intercept. Yes? So everybody look at 1, 2, and 3. It says, write an equation. Well, what 2 pieces of information do you need to write an equation? An M and a B. Did they give you either of those? They gave me the M, yes? What is the slope? All right. Can you see the y-intercept? Yes or no? I see it right here. What is that value?
1.
It's not 1. That's negative 1. All right, so did I need to solve for anything or could I see everything? So can I write my equation? How do I write it? Good. So if you can see the y-intercept, do you have to solve for it? No. Just be careful. If it's above 0, the y-intercept's positive, and if it's below 0, the y-intercept is. All right, now look at 4, 5, and 6. To write an equation, you need an M and a, did they give you the b? Can you see it? So you have to solve for it. Will your calculator do this for you? No. So let's go set it up. Okay, you know that y equals mx plus b, yes? Can I plug in a y, an m, and an x and solve for b? All right, which, is this an x? Is this a y? And they gave me the m. So I'm going to fill in. So instead of y equals, I'm going to put, hold on, instead of y equals, I'm going to put 4 equals. Why did I put 4? Because that's the y. Okay, instead of m, I'm going to write -3 times, instead of x, I'm going to put plus b. And now I simply solve this equation. Now you could solve that equation in your calculator. It's a waste of time. You should be able to do it in your head. Yes? All right, what is -3 times -5? So I have 4 equals 15 plus b. How do I get rid of 15? So what's going on between the 15 and the b? Addition. So to get rid of it, I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 15 is?
9. Wait.
4 minus, what's 15 minus 4, guys? Thank you.
16.
All right, let's write an equation. Do I have the 2 pieces of information I need? I need an m and a what? All right, y equals? Thank you, -3x. Good. Make sure you box that in so I know that's your answer. These are notes on the back. The front looks just like it, so you'll be able to use each section as an example. All right, let's do one more of those since y'all haven't done that in a while. Y'all want to do 5 or 6? All right, here we go. This is a what? Okay. What is this? And this is the slope. So in y equals mx plus b, I am going to plug something in for y, m, and x to solve for b. So what am I going to put for y? -5 equals. What am I going to put for m? -3/2 times. What am I going to put for x? Plus b. All right, so I have -5 equals. What's -3/2 times 1? You can put it in a decimal if you want. -1.5. All right, yes, does everybody see that -1.5 is being added to b? But I can't subtract to get rid of it. I'm going to add because the opposite of a negative is a... So once you see that it's adding or subtracting, you have to zero it out, yes? So I'm going to add 1.5. And -5 plus 1.5 is?
Oh. 3.5.
-3.5. Use your calculator. So I have y equals, what's my slope? -3/2 x minus 3.5. Or -7/2 if you want to keep it a fraction. Any questions? Yes or no? Now look at the next section. Write an equation. So on every single section you need an m. Now, did they give you 2 coordinates? Yes or no? So what can you use when they give you 2 coordinates? You can use stat. The only time stat's not going to work is if they don't give you 2 coordinates. Yes? All right, so do I need to go over that with y'all? Go down to 16. Write an equation of the line that has each pair of intercepts. Guys, an intercept is a coordinate, yes? So can I use stat? Write that down. You can use stat. But in order to use stat, you need two pairs of coordinates. So make a table. Now, on the last test you took, a few of you missed every single intercept question because you put the 0 in the wrong spot. So let's go over this. If they give you an x-intercept, that's the x value. Did everybody hear that? So what am I going to write for the x right here? What's the y going to be? If they give you a y-intercept, this is the y value. There's your coordinates, yes or no? Now I can go to stat, edit, and put that in. There's my equation. Y equals 2.5x minus 5. Do y'all understand how to get your coordinates from that? Okay. Do you have any questions? What are you going to do for assignment? The front of 5-1 and the front of 5-2. You can use stat on anything unless it doesn't give you two coordinates. Yes? Okay, get busy.